Hey YouTube, Nurse Marc here. Fat burners. Do they actually work? How many calories do they burn? The fitness industry makes a really good point of saying like fat burners will help you like shred fat, get torched, look great on the beach, but do they actually do all that they claim? So it's important to know that when you're taking a fat burner, the main thing that's working in that fat burner is caffeine. All right, that's the main driving force in increasing your metabolic rate. So as you take a fat burner, it's going to have caffeine, anhydrous, and then a bunch of other stuff. Now that bunch of other stuff is only going to make a percentage or a fraction of a percentage of difference compared to just taking a caffeine pill. So for the most part, you could almost just replace a fat burner with a caffeine pill, but you would lose out on whatever percentage that fat burner ingredient list does do. How much of a difference? Unfortunately, I can't really tell you, and I'll talk about that in a quick second. So how many calories does a fat burner burn? See, that's difficult to answer because it's very difficult to narrow down, this shred X, whatever the hell it is, fat burner, and how many calories it does. However, there are a ton of studies on caffeine and increased metabolic rate and calorie burn. So let's talk about that instead because we know that caffeine is the main ingredient in almost every single fat burner, right? If it doesn't have caffeine, it's probably not going to be very effective. So let's talk about how much caffeine or how much calories does caffeine burn when taken in conjunction with diet and exercise. First of all, what you need to understand is that the calories burned is not going to be astronomical. You're not going to take this pill and turn into Arnold. That takes Dianabol, time, and a bunch of other good stuff. So let's keep this as simple as possible. When you're taking caffeine or a fat burner in conjunction with good proper diet and exercise, under optimal conditions, you can expect to burn 50 to 150 extra calories a day. That doesn't sound like a whole heck of a lot, and it's not a whole heck of a lot, because again, a fat burner isn't going to get you torched, jacked, and tanned. It's just going to assist in the weight loss process. So 50 to 150 calories a day doesn't sound like a crap ton here, but let's break that down over the course of month to month and look at it as a micro picture on a monthly basis rather than a micro picture on a day-to-day basis. So let's say your diet's on point, your training's on point, and you're doing your cardio however many times a week. I don't know, I don't do cardio, I'm a lazy power lifter. But let's say everything you're doing is on point and you decide, I'm adding a fat burner to my training schedule because I want it to help me lose weight. So let's say optimal conditions, everything's great, you're burning 150 extra calories every single day. God, that's not a whole lot. Except, when you look at that over the course of a month, that's 4,500 calories extra burned. All right, or the equivalent of about 1.25 pounds approximately of body weight extra lost by taking that fat burner or that caffeine pill. So you're like, okay, well that's only a pound and a quarter a month. That's not much, but do that now over a 3-month cut, like a 12-week cut leading up to summer because you want to look good without a shirt on. That's an extra 4 pounds that you've now lost that you did nothing for except taking a pill. So when you look at it as like a macro scale instead of a micro scale, it's like, okay, that's a pound or more a month. And over the course of your 12-week cut leading up to the summer, that's an extra 4 pounds. Having done cuts in the past where you literally are like, oh, I've got like 5 pounds left to go. Damn, that could actually make a difference over the course of 3 months. And I know it still sounds like nothing, 4 pounds, but it actually is kind of something when you think about it like that. Now here's where the Nurse and Nurse Marc comes in. The problem with fat burners and caffeine pills is there's always the chance that you're going to take too much and overdose on caffeine. Now I don't mean overdose, end up in the hospital dying. What I mean is simply going beyond your safe daily allowance, right? Because caffeine pills very quickly, they're 200 milligrams per, you pop 3 of those, you're done. That's your daily allotment. Or you take a fat burner and it might have 600, 800 milligrams of caffeine. And now you want to go ahead and drink that cup of coffee, or maybe you have a Red Bull. Boom, now we're all of a sudden skyrocketing the amount of caffeine that we're taking in. So if you do want to take caffeine pills or a fat burner, just think consciously about how much caffeine you're taking in with those, and then you're not overdosing on the amount of caffeine that you're taking. Yes, I've talked in the past about caffeine and safe levels and whatnot, but just be conscious of it is all I'm saying. That's it, boys and girls. Are they worth it? Maybe, maybe not. That's kind of up to you. I mean, if we're looking at a 12-week cut for summer, and you got the extra funds, losing that extra 4 pounds or assisting in losing that extra 4 pounds might be worthwhile. I mean, that 4 pounds might take you 4 additional weeks of cutting to get to, or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever long, but it's going to cut down on that timeline, and that might be worthwhile for you. If, on the other hand, you don't really care, then don't spend the money. Fat burners are really expensive. Caffeine pills are not, but fat burners are really expensive for a reason. They have all that extra ingredient stuff in it. Also, the fitness industry has convinced you that they're amazing. But make that conscious decision yourself. Yes, no, that's up to you. Like and subscribe, questions and comments down below, and as always, eat like a bodybuilder and train like a powerlifter.